Yeah.
Well, some of the pieces I do, some of that construction stitch, I wrap a fragment of the ceramics where the stitch is actually on the outside.
Right.
I can choose whether to wrap it from the inside or wrap it from the outside, but different pieces sort of seem to suit different processes. And for these pieces, some of the pieces I did actually wrap it on the outside, but actually when you're building it, you see the beginning of the personality of the piece developing, and actually it didn't suit it. It sort of confused the message rather than supporting it. So actually these pieces, all of the construction is on the inside, but the pieces are big enough that you can actually look in, which is I think
with the stitching on the outside, it straight away you realise it's stitched together. Whereas like you said, keeping it on the inside is an element of mystery, isn't it? So do you think, I always thought it was ceramic. I didn't know they were wrapped in fabric. And that's like I said to you, I thought, it's a pot, you've broken a pot and reconstructed it, but the pattern is different. So if you had done that with a normal pot, the pattern would,
go back together.
Yes, but the pattern is random.
You tried to fix it.
Yes. But this all came about because I broke something and I was thinking, I haven't got any glue in the house, how am I going to fix it?
Stitch it together.
So and I thought, can I stitch it together?
You're a textile designer, textile artist. You can stitch it back together.
Stitch real solid everything.
And they're so robust, aren't they?
They're surprisingly firm. Yeah. Because this is the biggest piece I've actually ever done to date. And when I was actually building it back, I was thinking, I wonder whether that is the limit of the process, because it is only stitch and fabric holding it together. So I wonder how big it can go before that.
That's the scale, isn't it? Especially can you not scale? If you did something this size, you'd have bigger pieces.
But there is a weight involved. But having done that, I can definitely go bigger than that, because that is actually far more robust than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, they look robust. I mean, looking inside, the amount of thread that's holding them together. It's kind of, there's a lot of structure.
Well, the thing is, all these threads is what's keeping the fabric round in each individual fragment. It's these little stitches on the outside that are actually sold. They're stitching that to that, holding that to that.
Right, because you've got. I mean, from here. With this one, you've got a fold that you've got a piece come. So it looks like, because you can't see that's a segment, but it's not a segment, is it? It's the way
that's the fabric folding in on the inside.
So you get a totally different sort of
don't worry.
patch thing.
I think that's a little tack.
Oh yeah, the metal one was magnetised.
So
too close.
But this one, you see, sometimes I change the colour of the stitch thread as well, depending on the colour of the actual. It tends to be related to the colour of the actual fabric on the outside. But in this case, it actually is changing it, so it helps you to pick out pieces that go in there. And that's the one thing actually with actually stitching up. If I choose a piece and stitch it from the outside, it actually does sort of highlight some of the sort of strange shapes or strange shaped segments that actually go to make it.
How long does one take you to do?
Sort of hours and hours. Yeah,
it's days.
Yeah. Well, also it's quite close at work, so I have to sort of, and it's quite, some of the pieces, it's quite awkward for some of the pieces, so I have to sort of move away. But I only can ever work on one at one time, because if I had more than one in bits, I would never probably be able to.
How do you do those big stitches inside? You can't get your hand in there.
Well, some of the pieces you have to sort of work through.
Right.
I mean, each one has got its own little challenges, and it depends quite a lot on the silhouette,
anatomy,
actually how it works. But yeah, it's sort of.
It must be a bit like that. It's like quite an anatomy sort of thing, isn't it? It goes together a certain way.
Yes.
I suppose a bit like constructing furniture. You have to construct furniture with garments in a particular